Hello and welcome, my friends. I am Johnaroth, a multi-magic tournament winner and magic enthusiast, and today I have one question for you. Do you like crushing your opponents? Do you like seeing them concede in despair as you destroy everything that they have on their board until their life total dwindles to nothing? Well, today I wanted to share with you my absolute favorite commander in my favorite color, mono black. The commander is Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. This is a wonderful commander. He's a 3/3 for 3 mana. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller can pay 1 life and draw a card. He's also got a 7 mana ability where you can draw cards off of your opponent's library and cast them, but I very rarely use this. This is just a good card. It's just an overall fun card to play where I love any type of deck where you're getting a lot of value. You're drawing a lot of cards so that you can cast more spells, have more mana, just making sure you outvalue your opponent. There's a lot of ways you can build Gix as a commander. There's a lot of people that I've seen who build Gix as a deck. They just swarm the board with 8,000 1 and 2 drops to try to get early in the game and attack the opponent for the win. That is a successful strategy, but the way that I have found the most success with Gix is kind of giving him a little bit more control, a little bit more power towards the end of the game so that you can finish the opponent off and that you don't run out of steam once they start to cast bigger and bigger spells. So if we look at the deck itself, as you can see in the 1-drop, we've got a lot of good early creatures. I've got a lot of Death Touch creatures. Tiny Bones is a wonderful card. You can get stuff out of their graveyard. Knight of the Ebon Legion is a classic card that's really good that you can pump up. We've got creatures with flying, such as Fairy Dream Thief, to fly over the opponent. Then also a lot of good removal spells, Blood Chief's Thirst, Cut Down. We have cards to remove cards out of their hands, such as Duress and Thoughtseize. And then as we go up the curve, as you can see, we have a lot of 2-drops. We have a lot of cards that are going to be good for removal, such as Go for the Throat, Heartless Act. I'm using the newer card Fell, as well as my absolute favorite removal card for 2 mana, which is Bitter Triumph, because you can kill a creature or planeswalkers. I have found Call of the Ring to be an absolute powerhouse in this deck because it can make your creatures evasive as well as let you draw cards at the cost of 2 life in your next turn. So as we go up the chain, we get to the 4 and 5 drop slot, the more powerful spells. And of course we have Shieldred the Apocalypse, which is going to help us gain life as well as just being a powerhouse creature. Some planeswalkers such as Sorin, who will bring out creatures that can fly to help us get more cards with Gix, as well as drawing cards on his own. Liliana the Dark Realms is a mana battery, help us draw more swamps so that we can get more stuff onto the battlefield, continually pumping up our team. And then we even have some closers of the deck, such as Aklisots, who can fly over and allow us to take away cards from our opponent, and Virtue of Persistence to reanimate cards from the graveyard. I do have 40 lands as the mana base. That's kind of a standard that you always want to aim for in a Brawl deck like this to make sure that you continue to get mana on Arena. This is just a good deck. It's fun to play. It's very powerful, top tier type deck. And let's take it into the queue and let's see if we can crush some opponents' dreams. Our first opponent is the First Sliver. The First Sliver is a really annoying commander, quite honestly. It's basically got 1 sliver in it, which is the commander itself. They're basically just going to play 5-color good stuff, basically, to try to win this game. Honestly, it's a commander I would never play, but the key to winning on this is to be incredibly aggressive against them, help them lose as much life as possible. I am going to kill the Ornithopter to remove some of their mana base. Got to slow them down enough to ensure that they can't summon their commander. They block our knight. We are able to draw a card, though. The key is to be as aggressive as possible. Okay. Now they will be able to do something horrible to us this next turn. They're going to have 6 mana because of the Key to the Archive, at least, if not 7 mana. So we're going to hit them hard, first and foremost. We can pump up the knight by 3. Right now we're doing 8 damage to him. I'm going to do it. We have to be really aggressive with this. We have the opponent down to 5, which is excellent. We're going to take as many cards as we can. Now, we did draw a Dark Ritual, as well as a land. I am going to play the land, exile his graveyard. And he's going to have a decent amount of mana next turn, so I'm going to cast Duress and see what he has over on his side. Lightning Bolt. And he has a Vorinclex and a Nicol Bolas. So we've got a good chance of winning this, but he can summon his commander still. Oh, birds, bird, what are you doing? Okay, he summons Savala. Okay, so first things first, we're going to feed the swarm, kill Savala. We're going to attack. And we win the game. Good game, First Sliver. If we played a longer game with that, with the First Sliver, we would not have won. Okay, we do get to go first, and it looks like our opponent is Flubs the Fool. Flubs is an interesting card. Basically, he punishes you for having cards in your hand, but if your hand is empty, you get to draw additional cards, is the basic gist. So he's going to want to try to empty his hand as quickly as possible. I'm going to play my Bajuka Bog first because it comes in tapped and I don't have a one-turn play. So we've got a lot of good 2-drops here. He did play a red land, which means he could have a Lightning Bolt in hand, something to that effect, which could hurt us. We do have the Direfleet Poisoner, which is a flash creature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. Keep our options open. we'll end the turn. We've got Fatal Push on deck in case he summons something that's going to be a problem for us. And we summon the Dire Fleet Poisoner so that we have a creature. Unfortunately, we did not draw a land, so we are a little bit behind in that aspect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Jet Medallion to make our cards cost less and attack and pass the turn to him. He summons a Valakut, which is typically for landfall when they play lands. We're going to summon Gix and draw a card. Hopefully we draw a land. We still do not draw a land. So we may be in trouble in this game. Opponent is eyeing our commander, so I have a feeling, yeah. Killed the commander off. Okay, we did draw a land, so we can do some things here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to summon our Siphoner, who can get us some card advantage. I am going to also use Inquisition of Kozilek to take a look at their hand. Now, normally I don't like getting rid of cards in a hand for a commander that actually rewards you for that. But in this instance, I think it's going to work to our benefit. Our opponent is thinking carefully about what to do. They're using a Sylphan Tutor, so they're going to look for a creature card, and then they're going to put it on the top of their deck. What are they picking? It's like they're choosing the Oracle of Medea for landfall, which is a good card. It's like they're returning our Jet Medallion to our hand so that we don't get the benefit of it anymore. At least for the moment. I am going to resummon the Jet Medallion. And then we're going to swing in. Opponent's down to 15. We're going to kill the Oracle. We can't allow him to have that type of advantage. We're going to use our Siphoner's ability to draw another card. And we do get another land, which is huge. Our opponent is tapped out, so I'm going to go for Gix so we can get some more cards. We do have to discard a card. Now, I'm going to discard Fell because it's somewhat slow in this matchup. Our opponent's down to 11. If there is anyone from the Bones Coffee Company watching the video, I love your coffee. If you want to sponsor me for, say, $1 million so that I can endorse your products, I'll be happy to do that. Just reach out to me. I'm going to also take this moment to say please like and subscribe. As a brand new YouTuber who's just getting started, you know, it's really important that I get some visibility to my content so I can make more of it. So thank you for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. And it looks like our opponent is either thinking very carefully or is a little disheartened with the game. We actually, on our next turn, can summon Rankle, who can deal up to 4 damage, so we do have lethal on board. right now for our opponent. While we're waiting, I do want to also say I don't understand why people rope to time out on Magic games. Basically, they let their timers run out because they're losing and they're mad that they're losing. Just quit the game. Just quit the game. Just move on. It's not worth it. I don't understand. I mean, maybe Lewis is having a technical issue. I don't know. But there are a lot of people on Arena who will rope if they start to lose at a game of Magic. It's really not worth the time to do that. I don't understand it. But okay, so I'm just gonna summon Rankle and let's go for the win. I'm gonna use Rankle's ability here first. You're gonna lose a life, draw a card, and our opponent is dead. Good game, Flubs. Opponent is Fang Liang, and their commander is Zur. Zur is a enchantment commander. Loves enchantments. I really like this hand from a removal. We have a enchantment removal card. We do have another card that could potentially Zur. However, we do not have any creatures whatsoever. So that means we cannot put any pressure on Zur in the beginning of the game, which is important. So I am going to mulligan. This hand is not better, but at least we do have things we can do relatively quickly. I don't like the gap between the 1-drop and the 3, but we could potentially draw a card. This is a little risky of it. I'm going to mulligan one more time. This hand is also a little bit risky, but we do need to keep at this point. So I am going to put the Flesh Gorger back and bring out a swamp, and let's see what Zur has in their hand. So he's got some ramp and a protection card. This is good against us because we have to pay 2 mana for each creature that's attacking, so let's get rid of it. I really like Direfleet Poisoner as a creature because it has Flash and Death Touch. A lot of times your opponents don't see this card coming from a black deck. So what our goal is to flash out the creature and then summon Gix so that we can get some card draw. Our opponent has an Inquisitive Glimmer. We are going to cut that down because it gives advantages for enchantment cards. And summon Call of the Ring, which is going to give some card draw as well as evasiveness for our creatures. Going to pay the 2 life to draw another card. Summon Gix. Draw another card. He drew a Jet Medallion. Nope. He has destroyed our commander and the pirate, which is fine. So I am going to get out Jet Medallion because it reduces the cost of our cards. And then we're going to summon the Unstoppable Slasher. I really love this. Puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, and it's very hard to kill. Okay. We can summon potentially. He probably does not have a lot of counter spells in this deck, but I do really want another land because I want to get rid of the arena so he doesn't get card draw advantage here. So I am going to attack. And we did not get card advantage here, another untapped land. I am going to destroy the arena. I don't want him drawing multiple cards. And then we're going to exile his graveyard. We do have removal up if he tries to summon Zur. Okay, he's going to Revere's Rebuke, which is going to bounce our stuff back to our hand. Perfectly fine. Going to summon the Jet Medallion. And basically we are back to where we were when we started last turn. He summons the Invasion of Theros, which allows him to look for an aura god or demigod. I'm assuming he's probably going to pick an aura. It actually gets Heliod, which is a really good enchantment in a Zur deck. Call of the Ring does seriously amazing things in this deck. Okay, we're going to summon our commander. Hopefully. And we're going to attack. We draw Arena. I'm going to drop the Scrounger because I can bring that from the graveyard back if I need to. So we're going to take him down by half life. We're going to draw a card, and we should win the game. Call of the Ring adds it where it's on a level. It deals additional damage to our. Good game, Zur. Right now we are playing a mono blue, probably going to be mostly counter spells, things that we do have a 1 and 2 drop though, so I am going to keep this, and hopefully we can go after the opponent and hit them a ton before they get out their commander. We're gonna I'm going to throw the land in the graveyard because we have enough mana at the moment for what we have. I'm going to attack. Going to summon the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Really good creature. A 3/2 for 2 mana that you can bring back from the graveyard. He may have a bounce spell of some kind. He does. I could play my commander, but I'm playing against mono blue. They almost definitely have a counter spell. So I'm going to summon the Scrap Heap Scrounger instead. You can almost guarantee they're going to have a counter spell in a deck like. I'm actually going to put this to the bottom. It's done its work. What does he have in the graveyard? A Fading Hope. Yeah. We'll just wait. So let's draw another card. He has a counter spell of some kind. Almost. We're gonna try to play our commander. We have to get those. Well, yeah, I have to get those counter spells out of his hand one way or another. Mm-hmm. We're gonna try to kill his commander. Do you have a counter spell? I mean, that's basically all your deck is, so cast it or don't. Just do something. Okay. He does not counter the Swift End, so we were able to kill his commander. He may be able to bring it back pretty quickly, but at least we got rid of it for one turn. Okay. We're going to attack first, hoping we can lure something out here. I don't want to lose Liliana, so I'm going to try to summon the Murderous Rider instead. Okay, he's returning our Scrap Heap Scrounger to our hand, which is fine. Summons his commander again. Just an annoying card. Blue is an annoying color in general, quite honestly. I'm hoping we draw a land because we've got a couple different things we can do. Okay, so he's going to draw 2 cards. He will be tapped out, though, so that is good for us. We're going to summon Liliana. He could have a Pact of Negation. That's the only thing I could think of that would kill, that he could use to counter. He does not. So we're going to kill his commander again.
One of your friends has to leave.
Summon the Scrap Heap Scrounger, who's been putting in work for us this game. Keep chipping away at blue. So we're going to try to kill the Ledger Shredder, which we were successful in doing, which is great. We're going to get rid of a card. We're going to get rid of the Scrap Heap Scrounger. We can pull him back from the graveyard. And then we're going to try to attack first to see if we can get in some damage here. And summon our Preacher of the Schism. Now, he does have a creature that he can flash in. This whale he can bring in with, which can block our knight and kill him. What I'm going to do is we're going to discard a card first. Let's get, if he has a counter spell left, let's get that out of his hand.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Okay, now we summon our commander. And we're only going to attack with the Preacher. Draw another card. Let's play a land. Okay, so he's got out a whale. And now he has Eluge as well. I'm hoping he'll attack Liliana, which he does. We will. Let's make him get rid of.
Off you go.
We have a choice here. We can either attack, or we can take a look at his hand first and see what he's got. Okay, he's got a Tail's End, so we get to get rid of that. We can actually even bring some of his creatures against him with the Virtue. But first I'm going to attack. Okay, he's down to 7. We're just going to go ahead and kill his commander so that he can't do anything else next turn. And we win the game. Not a really big fan of mono blue decks. If you can get rid of their cards in their hand or attack them aggressively enough in the beginning of the game, then it is hard for mono blue decks to recover. The key is getting outboard presence in the beginning to ensure that they can't counter everything you do. Mono blue is a very powerful color. Brawl, Crackling Wit, usually a storm deck. Really dependent on like powerful spells. Raw can otters with prowess, which can be a serious pain to deal. Don't have a 1 or 2 drop other than the Duress. Duress is good against blue. I like the card advantage of this. However, I'm not going to be able to really do much in the beginning of the game, so I'm kind of hesitating on this a little bit. I am going to mulligan and see if we can do something else. This is not better. I can I mean, I won't be able to do anything really until turn 3. This is not great either. However, I really can't afford to mulliganing, so I'm just going to keep and hope for the best. We get our jet medallion out to reduce the cost of our... I am going to kill the Iconoclast because he can create additional creatures with that. We'll just bring out the Call of the Ring. We're definitely low on mana, though. He is unfortunately summoned an Alchemy Tomb of the Infinite, which basically allows him to conjure a random card every turn. I'm not really a big fan of a lot of the Alchemy cards, quite honestly. Summons an Otter. He's eyeing our commander. We really need a land of some kind, which of course we don't draw. I am going to kill the Otter and take a look at his hand. We still only have 2 lands, though. So we're in... These are actually all problems. Time Warp is a serious problem if he gets another blue land. What does he have in the graveyard? He does have a Cyclonic Rift. I'm going to get rid of the Tails End because he can counter Commander with that. If we can keep the creature on the battlefield, the Scourge, then we will get to draw another card. That's why I think he's eyeing the creature. He keeps looking at our enchantment. Of course, he gets some sort of enchantment removal from the Alchemy card. We have 3 mana. He doesn't have any counter spells. He does have a Time Warp, though, so he might be able to take an additional turn next turn, which is going to be a serious problem for us. So I'm going to go for card draw. There's Stick because he can cast Snapcaster Mage from his hand with Flash, but he will not be able to cast anything else, so it's really not in his best interest to do so. And our opponent, he did have enough mana for Time Warp, but honestly, he's gonna have to wait till next turn to do that. He doesn't really have anything else other than summoning Brawl. We could kill it. We can draw more cards, so our opponent concedes the game. Good game, Brawl. Voja. Noise Boys is the player we're fighting. This hand really doesn't do much in the beginning. It does have removal. We do have a flyer. Voja's going to try to get out as many elves as possible, more than to ramp into the commander, which can be a problem. I am actually going to mulligan, though, because we need a faster hand than this. This hand is okay. This hand is not bad. We do have a 2-drop. We can bring out Gix, destroy an... We can look at spells in his hand, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. Very powerful commander. Lightning Bolt. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I'm going to summon Skyclave Shade. More than likely, our opponent is going to this incubation druid on turn on his. We have two options. We can kill it, which is good because we want to get rid of his ramp. He might also summon the Landward Loam Speaker. Or we can go for Gix and go for some card draw. So we're going to have a choice we're going to have to make here. I am going to go for because I really do want card draw. We do have a removal spell for Voja, which is huge. Voja's tough to kill because it has Ward 3, which is crazy how much mana you need, but Blot Out just gets rid of their greatest creature. So we're going to go for that. I'm assuming he's going to summon another elf, but we'll see. Cabaret Revels. Well, let's attack first and see what we get. Okay, we got some more creatures, got some cheap removal. I am going to summon the Gifted Etherborn because it pays to be as aggressive as possible and will kill Llanowar Elf. This is another alchemy card that basically gives you a lesser creature when you summon one. So he might be able to clog up the board with a couple creatures, unfortunately. But he is getting low on life. So summons a Llanowar Elf. Tireless Provisioner is probably one of the best elf cards out there. You can get treasures, you can get food. I use it in several of my Glarb deck. We are going to kill that for sure. And then we're going to attack. He can kill the Skyclave Shade if he wants. Otherwise, we're going to draw 3. I'm trying to keep him as low as possible on creatures, so I'm going to kill the elf. Put some serious pressure on him next turn. He's going to have to block. Alright, well, because of an alchemy card, he does have a good amount of blockers. But I think we still got a good chance on. We can definitely kill something with Elspeth. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Incubation Druid to cut off his mana. And then we're going to attack with everything. He does have to do some blocks here. This is pretty good for us, actually. He's losing pretty much his whole army. He will kill our commander, but we'll get to draw another card. We are going to pass. We've got the Dire Fleet Poisoner, which can ambush him, basically. Now he may have another removal spell potentially. We don't want him getting me. So he is going to summon his commander. Wasn't that lucky. Luckily, we do have solutions for this. Gonna bring out our Cavernous Souls and say Phyrexian because that's our commander. We're gonna kill the Galagreeters. Honestly, if I was smart, what I should have probably done was do the Jet Medallion first. But we're going to kill his commander. This may cause him to concede. I don't know. And then we're going to bring out the Call of the Ring because this will give us some card advantage. He could kill it with the Reclamation. That's possible. It's more than likely, quite honestly. But we have to get that out of his hand anyway. Okay, we're going to bring out the Jet Medallion. Bring out Gix. Okay, he might have enough for commander next turn. It's possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out everything. Because he is down to 5 life. But we did kind of get lucky on the draw here. Because we have 8 mana. This has a ward of 3. So we are going to destroy this. Pay the ward cost. And go for the all-out attack. We are going to pump up the Emperor of Bone. Win the game. Voja's a very strong. With a lot of elves on the battlefield, it can become a monster of an army. The key for this deck is aggression. Get creatures out early, attack quickly, and get a bunch of card draw. So even though our opponent an alchemy card that let him put additional creatures on the battlefield, we just had too much value, and they couldn't win. So, good game, Voja. We're fighting against Glarb. Glarb is a great commander. I have a Glarb deck that I really like playing against other opponents. You get a lot of value for Glarb late in the game. You can cast 4 or more mana spells off the top of your deck. It's a great commander, a lot of fun to play with. So I am going to try to keep this hand. We are going to need a swamp to make this work, but I'm going for aggression. He probably will have some sort of elf or an alchemy card that lets him play a land. Attack. say in turn, we again have our Poisoner. We've drawn the Poisoner a lot this game. It's a really good flash in. So we've got mana open. He probably is going to summon his commander, more than likely. Usually when I play Garb, I tend to wait. Yeah, actually smart about that. I tend to wait to play Garb until I can look at the top of my deck and put a land in. He did put down an island, so he probably has some sort of wash away, something like. Honestly, it would probably be a mistake for me put out commander because he does have an island here, so he could probably counter it. So instead, I'm gonna go for Drana. Got to be aggressive with this. Plays Binding of the Old Gods. Kills our commander. This is another great card. You can destroy something. You can just a multi-purpose card to have. We're going to get to draw a card because of Gix. Put down land. We're going to have to be aggressive here. Big time. If we want a chance of winning this. Okay, this is kind of a crucial turn for our opponent. He does have a lot of land. I would not have played the land. I played until after I played Glarb. But he may have a counterspell for this. I don't know. He does not. So we're gonna kill Glarb.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the big man. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Okay, he's gonna put Gix back in our hand. That's fine. We're gonna summon the Siphoner, which is a good source of card draw if we can hit a couple times. Shocks in a land. Goes for the Leveler.
Sorry, I'm not interested in dying today.
This card is a... we're going to summon Gix. We should be able to get into hit with at least one, if not two, of these. It depends if he blocks. This is going to give us a couple more cards, which is great. I'm going to go with the Ophiomancer because we're going to get an additional creature out of this. And we're actually also going to be able to get out the Vault Scourge. Key is to put as much damage on our opponent as possible. He's probably going to kill our commander. Take action. We are going to block with the Death Touch token to kill the Leveler. And we can actually bring another token out, assuming the Ophiomancer lives for another turn. He may have a board wipe of some... That's really one of the only ways that I see. Okay. So he uses that to bring out Uro, which is fine. Uro's a great gains life, card draw. We're going to have to come up with a way of destroying this. And he does kill Siphoner so that we can't draw a card. Okay, we kind of lucked out that we drew a Blood Chief's Thirst. But we are going to need to destroy that. Which unfortunately means we can't bring out Gix. Hit him for 6 or 5. Okay, looks like he's going to bring out the Leveler. He's going to kill the Theomancer. However, I am going to bring back my Skeleton. There's no need to block because he has Trample, and that card will be exiled. Okay, so our opponent is at 11. If we attack with everything, if he blocks, he'll still take 4. We'll do another 2 to him. We could also bring out Gix and get a lot of card advantage. I'm going to go for the card advantage. Okay, so let's take a look in his hand. See if he has anything good. Opponent's down to 7. We are at 4. Okay, so he's going to bring out Uro again. So we are going to bring out Shieldred this time, so that we can get some card advantage. Yeah. So we kill, get to attack, draw a bunch of cards, and we're actually going to gain life now, because for every card we draw with Shieldred the Apocalypse, we do gain 2 life, so that offsets the 1 life that we're getting, losing from drawing for Gix. So again, aggression and just making sure we get the card advantage from early on in the game helps us win. Good game, Glarb. Great commander. Awesome commander. I'll do a future video on Glarb. Dr. Pepper is the best drink on the planet. But there's one thing that's even better than drinking a cold Dr. Pepper, and that's stomping people with Gix, Yawgmoth, Praetor, and Arena. Gix is a very strong commander that allows you to get a lot of card draw. You can put a lot of pressure on your opponents early in the game, but then in the later part of the game, if they've survived that long, you have Planeswalkers to support you, Virtue of Persistence, Invoke Despair, and a lot of other powerful cards and effects that can help you close out the win even in the late game. I consistently win a lot with this deck list, which is listed in the description below, and I really enjoy the games. They're a lot of fun, and you get to play against a broad range of opponents. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. As a brand new YouTuber, I'm just getting started with a lot of content. I have started a Patreon page, which the link is in below if you want to be one of the early patrons for me. But thank you so much for watching my video, and together, let's conquer all of YouTube. Have a good day.